James here from goodguitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play Stand By Me by Ben E. King. First, I'm going to show you how to play it without a capo, and that involves a bar chord, F sharp minor, and if that's too much for you, afterwards we're going to show you how to play it with a capo on the 2nd fret. For the most part, this song is pretty basic. It uses mostly open basic chords and a pretty standard strumming pattern. And if you find that you need any extra help with that stuff, please check out our ebook on rhythm guitar. It's free to all of our subscribers and it covers all the fundamentals of rhythm guitar. So if you find yourself having any trouble getting through this lesson, maybe with some of the chords, we go over all of them really in depth. There's a bunch of videos that go with it and everything, so it's free to all of our subscribers. There's a link down below. You can find out more on our website. Anyways, let's take a quick look at what chords we'll need for the no capo version of this song. First, we have an A chord. And you can play A like this using 3 fingers, avoid the lowest string, or you can play it with 1 finger, and then just mute the top string. Then we have an F sharp minor chord. And this is a bar chord. It might be a bit tough. I find though that it's not so bad if you back this finger up. So we put that finger down and then we use our middle finger to kind of really get it down there. Get all your fingers in position. Make sure your thumb is in the middle of the chord. If your thumb is too far to one side or the other, it'll really stress out your wrist. So you want it to be pretty much in the center of the chord, just like that. Pick each string, test it out. You know, it might not sound perfect right away, and we have a series that covers bar chords, you know, how to make them easier. I'll put a link down below for that as well. Anyways, then we go to a D chord. D is a pretty standard chord. Avoid hitting the lowest string if you can. Put your thumb over the top and lightly touch it. That way you're free to strum away. The last chord that we need is E. Not too much to say about the E chord. Pretty straightforward. Make sure you're getting every string. Alright, so those are all pretty easy aside from the F sharp minor. So let's put them in order now and play downstrokes only. Just play through the chord progression a couple times. Starting on an A chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Alright, so make sure that you can do that, just downstrokes only, making nice clean chord switches, doing the best you can, and when you're ready we can add a strumming pattern to that. Strumming pattern goes like this. So that's a variation on the most common strumming pattern ever. You know, the most common strumming pattern ever is down, down, up, up, down, up. So let's start there. We'll start by breaking that down into 2 bits. We have down, down, up. And if you're counting that out, it's 3, 4, 1, 2, and. So try that a few times, just waving your arm with the beat. 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and. And then the second half is miss, up, down, up. So we miss the strings and then up, down, up. And with the counting, 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. So if you're having trouble with this, try each half of it till you know you're really good with it. Then we can put it all together. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and miss, up, down, up. 1, 2, and miss, up, down, up. And then all we have to do is change one thing to get the strumming pattern for Stand By Me. All we're gonna do is on that second downstroke, so on beat 2, we're gonna do a muted stroke. So this is what it'll look like. And to do the muted downstroke on beat 2, all we have to do is we play our chord, and then I lift the pressure off of the strings. So I'm leaving my fingers in the same spot, but there's no more pressure. And then I just grab the strings as best I can using my extra fingers so that none of them can ring. And I hit the strings. That's it. So just try that. Playing an A chord and then grabbing the strings and playing a muted stroke. And we can do that with all the chord shapes. F sharp minor is super easy. You just have to lift the pressure because you're already touching all the strings. So work that out over each of the chords. Get really good at switching between chord, mute. And when you're ready, try out the whole strumming pattern over each chord. So and once you've done that a few times, we're ready to finally put it all together, the chords and the strumming pattern. Let's try it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so if you're having trouble with that F sharp minor chord and you really just want to play the song, we can get around it by using a capo. So we'll put a capo on the 2nd fret, test out all the strings. Yeah, put my capo on nice and tight. And once we put a capo on, we have to change all the chords that we're using. So our first chord is G now. Then we have an E minor chord. Then a C chord, and a D chord. And when we're switching between these, there's a little trick that'll get you through the first 3 chords. So we start with our G, and now when switching to E minor, we leave our first finger down, and then we can just put our middle finger underneath it. And when we're switching to C, we can leave our middle finger down, pivot off of it, get our other 2 fingers down, and we have our C chord. And then we can go to D, and we just have to make a hard switch to D. There's no real trick there from C to D. But going from D back to G, we can leave our 3rd finger down. So practice that, just pivoting off of those fingers. You know, G, 1st finger, E minor, 2nd finger, C, try your best, D, 3rd finger, back to G. And if you find that the C chord is a bit tough for you, you can sub it out for C add 9, which is just like a G chord, except with these 2 fingers moved over that way. You know, I find that's a little bit easier for beginners, but give the C chord your best try first before you substitute that out. And if you found that that strumming pattern was a bit too difficult with the mute and everything, we can simplify that as well. We can just play down, down, up, up, down. So the first half is the same, down, down, up, 1, 2, and then the second half is miss, up, down. So 1, 2, miss, up, down. So practice that, each half of it, and then put it all together. Down, down, up, miss, up, down. And if you need extra help with any of these chords or this strumming pattern, we cover all of it in our free ebook, so please check that out if you need any extra help. Otherwise, we're ready to try this version nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how you play Stand By Me without a capo, with a capo, which is way easier. Don't forget to check out our free ebook if you have any trouble with this song, and I'll see you next week.